now. Check engine. Like everything is on. No. I'm in drive. Like I'm not going anywhere.
There's no right or wrong horse halter.
Yeah, tell that to Hudson.
True.
Hudson's like, where's my mom? Good morning. Good morning.
Hi guys.
Hi, pretty girl. Hi, Nancy boy. Hello. You were laying in the hay again, huh?
A little bit.
You like to lay out, don't ya? Yesterday morning was so fun. We had the farrier come for the second time since we've had the horses, and both times, not only do we absolutely love the farrier that we've hired to work with our family, but we were super impressed by how amazing both of the horses did. I think they only had farrier work done one time before they came to us, and they're a year now, and then they've had it done twice now since we've had them. And it's, what do they smell like today? London's just licking me like crazy. And they just did so well, and it's so fun to watch them kind of learn.
The farrier's name's Jeremy, and his company is JH Farriers. If you're in Nova Scotia, you have to contact this guy. He is absolutely amazing with the horses. He loves the horses, and he does such good work, and the horses were so calm, and we're so proud of our horses because they've come such a long way.
It's so nice when you find someone that you feel like is a really good fit with your family, and when he comes here, it's like he just comes here and hangs out with Hudson and London for a few minutes, and he does such a good job on their hooves, and their hoof care is really, really important. And we haven't had, as you know, like the best luck being in Nova Scotia with like contractors or things we need to hire for things. So we were so nervous if we were gonna find someone that we really like to work with our babies. And we found our guy, so we're so excited. I can't wait. We told him when the barn is up, when we do our outdoor grooming station, that we're gonna put his name on the wall and make him part of the farm. So we're excited, but they did so good. Hey, wanna go play?
Big yeah.
What did I eat this morning? They're like all over my fingers this morning.
Oh, hi London.
You wanna go play? Let's get your healthies on. Okay, Mom will do Lennon first today.
Oh, thanks.
Hudson's gonna be a jealous guy. You gonna be a jealous guy? I don't know why your lead's still on there, but that's okay. I know you love my. What are you doing? Taking a rub by my pants? Silly. He's like, I usually go first.
What are you doing?
No, your turn. No, that's not how we do it. Thank you, sir. Can you stop getting tall? Huh?
Yeah, now you
Can
gotta.
stop
You have to
getting
put it on your
tall?
tippy toes.
You're getting so big.
He is good, right?
Oh.
Come on. Is this the type you're gonna be today? Is this the type of horse you want to be, Hudson? A horse?
We're not going for a hike. Come on. This way. What are you doing, sir? Yesterday, our Chase was off being a typical teenager, hanging out with some friends, and our Dayton is just a little bit younger than Chase, and he's just learning that sometimes teenager brothers just want to go off and do things. And so yesterday we took a day and we had a Dayton day, and we wanted to take Dayton to do something that would be all for Dayton, something that he absolutely loves. If you've been following our channel for a long time, you know that the reason we have and have always dreamt of having a farm is because when our boys were little, they just wanted to do farming and have a farm, especially our Dayton with his love of ducks and basically any creature that walks the planet. And so we wanted to take him to do something yesterday. Antigonish Country Co-op, who we mentioned in a previous video, sponsored for our incubator. We're gonna be working with them a bunch of this year on different projects. But they had a really fun day for families to come in and see some baby animals. Oh my word. So we surprised Dayton and didn't tell him where we were going and went to go see these amazing animals.
And Dad got them and mothers were bought.
Oh, hi, Bubba. Oh my goodness.
Oh, they're here till 10.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, Bowen.
Yeah. It's pretty great, okay?
That cow, I don't.
Try now.
Yeah, try. See if it'll go into gear.
All those lights are on. Check engine. Like everything is on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, try to put it in.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing.
I'm in drive. Like I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm in drive.
Try. Give it gas.
It's got absolutely nothing.
You gotta be kidding me. I knew this was coming.
Back in park.
Okay, try it again.
Come on, girl.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna try to reverse her.
Reverse works.
Reverse is going. Okay, I'm gonna put her back in park. Give her a second. We're rolling
Roll
backwards.
Okay, but don't put it in park. Turn it off.
You try one more time.
You can try. I think it went in.
That
gear.
sounded like it went in gear.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going
that time
forward.
it went in gear.
I'm gonna reverse her again. Just because I'm in a weird spot on the driveway now. I'm going real. Come on. It's like she has no traction to,
No power.
at all to get going if your back end is down just even a little bit. Even the brakes are squeaking and we just had the front and the back all done completely.
Yesterday was such a fun day, and then it ended really bad.
We were so excited for the day and for Chase, like moving to a new province and moving completely, like regrouping our entire life to a different spot. You want to hope that your kids can make amazing connections with people and know that we're not moving from here. So like invest in others and find a really nice group of friends. And Chase and Dayton both have really done that. And yesterday was so exciting because Chase was going to hang out with a whole bunch of his buddies and they were going to go like look for gems and build a forest fort and just do like amazing 13-year-old boy things together. We were so happy for him. He was so excited to go. But Dayton was feeling super left out because he knew he was going to miss Chase. They spend all their time together. He's not used to Chase being a teenager and going and doing his own thing without him. But it was just a time where brother needed to go and younger brother needed to stay with us. And so he kept asking us the night before, what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do tomorrow? Like, what can we do tomorrow? And Philip and I had an idea, but we didn't want to tell him because it's always nice to surprise him. And we knew that our favorite farm store we go to, that we mentioned, was going to have some baby animals. And we thought this is the perfect thing to take him for lunch and go take him to see the baby animals. And that would be like a Dayton thing that we could do with him. But then we dropped Chase off and we furthered to where we call the city where we go. It's about like 2 hours from us to go see the animals and to get lunch and do our thing. And then we thought, well, if Chase is done on the way back, we can get him. If not, we'll come home, do our thing, tend to the animals and stuff, and then go back and get him later. But on the way home from going to see the animals, the truck was acting up a little bit. And I'll be completely honest, over the past couple of weeks, every time I'm going to head out to go get groceries or we have to go to town for something, we're like, hopefully this isn't the day that Ruby, which we call the FJ, doesn't kind of give up on us. So we've had her at the shop 3 times at least since we've been here in Nova Scotia. She clearly doesn't enjoy the salty air. She has over 400,000 kilometers, I think like over 440,000 kilometers. But she has been such an amazing truck for us and we don't want to give up on her. But the reality is that when we were heading back, in kind of a snowstorm / freezing rainstorm, windstorm. We had to go back and get Chase last night, and Ruby was acting up the whole way home from the feed store, and then we had to go back and get Chase. So the whole way there, we're like, please do not have to tell this family that our son's gone over the first time, like how embarrassing, like our truck broke down on the way and we can't come get our son, and they're far, like an hour and a bit from us. And then also, please, can we just get there, get him, and get home with the truck so that we can get towed from the driveway? Because when we live really right here, there's no self-service basically the entire way, 40 minutes at least from our house. So
we're
if you get
very
stuck,
rural.
when we broke down before, we were stranded, the four of us on the side of the road.
You're hiking.
I literally ran like 10 kilometers while Philip stayed with the boys. It was freezing cold, no heat. Like, tow truck, because of, world issues, they weren't taking passengers in the thing. It was just this huge issue, and it became, like, so incredibly stressful really quickly. And you try not to be, like, stressful in that moment, but it's so hard to just be like, oh my gosh, now what are we going to do? How are we going to get home? How are we going to get the truck where it needs to go? Do we even have a mechanic we can take it to that we know? Because obviously we're newer here. Like, so many variables just all of a sudden flood you when that happens. And so we're like, please just get Chase from his friend, get home safely, not have her die in the middle of the road in a snowstorm, get home to the animals, and then worry about it Monday. Today's Sunday, because nothing's open today. But we wanted to see if she was going to kind of still do this today. She just keeps slipping. So what we think is happening is that either their transmission's completely failing. I don't think it's completely failed yet, because it occasionally is seemingly working. Like, the odd time I'll go for a drive and she doesn't do anything like wrong while we're driving, but then the next time she could slip, and it could be really weird driving, like, quite a bit throughout the drive. Like, yesterday was the most she's done it yet. So
when we're driving and it's in gear and it's Elysia's foot's on the gas and we're driving, it will slip out of gear, and then the RPMs will just rev
really high,
through
like
the roof.
Up to 5,000.
Right. And then it won't never catch a gear until sometimes, yesterday
I pulled over.
We had to pull over and stop, put it in park,
let her kind of reset,
and then try and get it back in gear. And then it would go, sometimes it would go only 10 feet and then slip out of gear again. Or every time that we stopped, it slipped out of gear, and it was tough for it to find its gear for it to go.
And every once in a while, it will kind of get stuck where it's sort of in like the 3,000 RPMs, and then it doesn't feel or seem like it's accelerating past like 60. So even if I was like putting my foot heavier on the brake, it's just not doing what it needs to do. And we have noticed also, if I'm reversing on property here, say to turn around, and the back end of the truck goes down just a slight little bit of a slope, or it's damp, or there's any snow there whatsoever, she would normally, we've off-roaded this thing all over Canada, and she's been amazing, but she's not wanting to put the power behind her butt end to get her going forward. So then I'm worrying to reverse. If I reverse, am I going to be able to move forward again? Or then yesterday to pull over and put it in park, I was worried that halfway there we were going to put it into park and she wasn't going to go into gear again at all. So we are not sure what we're going to do. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have her towed. We have a CAA package, so we're going to have her towed. We've used that a lot this year. Thank you, CAA. Not sponsored. And get her to the mechanic that has looked at her a few times this year, see what's going on. But the reality is, since we knew this day was going to come eventually, we've been calling around and trying to figure out, prices on basically a variety of different vehicles. How could we finance, or what would it cost us to finance a vehicle every month? And I realized that people all around the world have car payments, and that would be a solution to get into a car payment. But the reality is, where we are and the prices in Canada for vehicles, we're looking at astronomical prices, including insurance every month for a brand new vehicle, which will be basically a vehicle payment for the insurance. And then we're looking at least $1,000 to $1,500 like monthly, even on some vehicles, maybe $1,500 plus taxes and stuff if we get into something that's like a much less expensive vehicle, which would be what we would have to do. But it's just not in the budget for us every month to add that type of a payment. We're so proud that we have no mortgage and we have nothing that we owe on things, and We've worked so hard to get to this point. It just feels like it would be 20,000 steps back to get into a vehicle payment of that price range. Like, that makes me want to throw up, thinking that we do so many things so thriftily and not having all of these extra expenditures, and then have to send that type of a payment for a vehicle that we literally only use to go get groceries, pick the kids up from school, and go get animal feed. Like, we don't venture far. We work at home every day and we do our things here on property, so it would just be like so much of an expense. Yes, the safety of having a good working vehicle is well worth any amount of dollars, but that's easy to say when you don't look at maybe what each family's specific budget is. Getting into a secondhand vehicle, prices here in Nova Scotia, I would say, are double.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not double, but
used
they're a
vehicles
lot
are
higher
way
here.
more expensive here than even in Ontario.
Yeah.
And we would be looking at getting into at the price point that maybe we could try to figure out over the next couple of months, saving for something that would be secondhand. We're still going to be looking at $10,000+ for a secondhand vehicle that's probably going to be 8+ years old, and we're going to start having similar issues that this vehicle is having, and putting money into that. So then it's like, is that worth it? So we don't want to give up on Ruby, but if it is her transmission, I think we're still looking at a really expensive fix. And I'm not sure, how we're going to do that with the budget right now. And also, is it worth putting that amount of budget into a vehicle that is 2008, 440,000+ kilometers?
Oh, Ruby's worth it.
Ruby's worth it. And the other thing is that this vehicle has been part of so many adventures that we've been on. We've taken her literally everywhere and done every cool thing with this vehicle with our family since the kids were little. So it would be a shame. We don't want to give up on her, but we're in that, like, what are we going to do kind of thing. And even though we saw it coming, like, it's not easy when you're trying to do so many different things to be able to put money aside for something that's going to be this expensive coming up. Like, it's just the reality of life, right? It's not always easy to do it. We are completely aware that normally our content on our channel is very, like, uplifting, and we're always showing all of the milestones and all of these accomplishments that our family has together, and how hard we work to be able to get those milestones met and check our boxes off on our dream list and things like that. This isn't necessarily like one of those uplifting videos, and it's kind of a downer, which isn't the kind of content we really like to do. But we always knew that going into doing YouTube, especially this journey of, like, selling everything and coming here to renovate an old house and making these big changes in our life, that we'd be completely transparent with the good, the bad, and the ugly of what happens with our family. And this is just one of those, like, I don't even know if this is bad or ugly. It's one of the other. But there will be a good outcome in the end, and we will figure it out. Life isn't always perfect and sunshine and rainbows, and there are usually things that come along for every family that can be setbacks. Like, this will set us back, not only financially trying to figure out the vehicle. We might be without a vehicle for a while, whether it be that it's in for repair and we can figure that out, or while we're searching for another vehicle, which means we'll be putting out even more money trying to figure out how to, like, taxi for groceries, and that kind of stuff's not easy. And we're very rural, like, we're not close to anything, so it's going to be setbacks for that. But then that also means that financially, like, money that will have to go towards what we need to do for the truck will now come out of other exciting projects that we had lined up, say, to do on our channel coming up, or we'll have to really work around and try to figure out what we're going to do, which I think is just good to be able to show that every family has these things that come up, and it's how you deal with them. And we're kind of, like, bummed out today about the truck, but tomorrow or even later today, shortly, we'll be back to our cheery selves, and knowing that we'll have at least thought of a few outcomes and plans and how we can make this solution happen for our family. Not ideal.
Right now, YouTube family, leave down in the comments some positive vibes for Ruby, and hopefully that it's not a whole transmission, or that maybe it's just
a whole transmission fix would be the amount of money that we would need to be able to buy an older secondhand vehicle. So that's still going to be, like,
it's a lot.
Like, how much do you think it would probably be? Like, just under 10,000 for the work and getting it done?
Yeah, it depends where you would get even if we can get a transmission right now. Or
the other thing is that they no longer make this vehicle, so that will be a struggle, as well as figuring out, like, can we even get the parts that we'll need to fix her if she's fixable. And if we have to give up on her, that's going to be, I think if we have to give up on her, that's going to be the worst case scenario, because it's not in the budget to buy a brand new vehicle, and it's truly not in the budget to buy a secondhand vehicle right now, but we'll have to figure it out over the next couple of months or weeks and try to figure out how we can make that possible if that's something we need to do, because reality is, because of where we live, we absolutely have to have a vehicle. And although I would love to ride my four-wheeler to go get groceries, because I would love to do that and not even have to have a vehicle, because I don't even care if I have a vehicle. I would gladly ride my four-wheeler or my horse one day to go get groceries, but we have to have a vehicle in order to be able to do the things that we do for content, like supplies we need to bring home, feed we need to go get for animals. There's like a bigger picture on why we absolutely have to have a vehicle.
Right.
And we are 40 minutes both directions driving to a grocery store.
Yeah.
So when the truck was broken down last time, we actually didn't even mention on our channel, but we were 3 weeks without a vehicle, and it was just under $4,000 to have a little bit of work done, and that was just before Christmas. And we were so bummed because we had plans, obviously, to do different content ideas, say January, February, and it meant that that budget had to go to fix Ruby. This has been like a kind of behind the scenes struggle with the truck. Hopefully this time we can get that fixed, or we can figure out what we're going to do going forward. The good thing is that we've been reflecting on all day while we've been kind of like wah about the truck, is that we have really positioned ourselves very well since we've moved here to Nova Scotia, that we were very smart in moving and not keeping, say, the cash flow, buying and selling our house in Ontario, moving here, that we used that money to pay our house and not have a mortgage. We appreciate the fact that we've done that so much throughout the year since we've been here, when things have gone wrong, say in the house, or things have been more money budget wise for fixing Ruby, or, you know, septic tanks blowing, or like things like that, where you're so thankful that in addition to having to solve those financial setbacks, that we didn't have a really high mortgage. I know with the way that like the market changed, and a lot of families are paying really high mortgages right now and interest rates, and we don't have a mortgage. So it really brings it back to us where we're like, oh, we're so proud of ourselves that we did what we needed to do with that money when we had the opportunity to make sure that this house was paid and that our cottage property was paid, so that we didn't have to deal with those financial aspects of your family budget in trying to figure out finances for stuff like this that comes up that you don't know is going to happen. I mean, we kind of knew the truck was going to happen, but you know what I mean? Those setbacks that come up during the month and you're like, oh no, we don't have those other financial responsibilities to have
like
to stress.
even our fun toys, like our quads and our bikes and everything that we have, we saved up for, so we don't pay payments on anything.
On any of that. So now we don't, in Ontario, we used to pay things like Union gas, and we had water bill, and we had a whole bunch of other expenses, cable TV, like lots of things that families have. And here we don't have cable TV. We don't have any additional expenses. We only have our internet. We don't pay water because we're on a well. We don't pay heating because we use wood. We ultimately pay for the wood to heat and everything, but we don't pay that monthly bill. So financially, we're in a good position. It just makes it very difficult when YouTube is just our income to be able to figure out some of these budget things when things happen that are going to be this costly, because it just dips into everything else. But we're hopeful that it's going to work out, and we're so thankful for how we have everything going right now. It's just one of those minor setbacks that you just have to be so thankful for everything that you do have. We're all healthy. The animals are all healthy. The horses are great. You know, the dogs and the chickens and ducks, and we have baby turkeys in the incubator, and our boys are doing phenomenal at school, like outstanding at school, and they're making amazing relationships with people in our community that they're now call friends and even best friends. And we're so thankful we get to work together, and that we have our YouTube family always cheering us on, whether it be that we're going to hatch turkey eggs, or we're building a shed, or we're going to build this or renovate something in the house. We have so many people behind us, and it really honestly makes us feel so not alone when things do go wrong, because we literally know we have so many people that are cheering us on the other end. And it always I always feel like when I say that on the videos that it sounds so corny and cheesy to be like, yay, we have our YouTube family. Like, it just seems like we say it in every video, but we are honestly so thankful for everyone that cheers us on. And we see all the comments, and we see all the emails, and we love getting the pictures and stuff you guys send us of your families and of projects you're working on. And when we get those things, our hearts are like so full. And I think it makes moments like this less of a burden on our like heart and our like stress level when we see and we get that gratification from you guys every single day. So usually in our videos, we hope that we give that right back to you guys. I'm sorry, today's video is not that, but this is just the reality of what's going on with the English family. And I promise to always show you that this is not like a fake, you know, home decor show where everything is always perfect and, you know, every room is always staged exactly the way and thousands of dollars are put into it. And, you know, no one's ever not feeling well and everything is just sunshine and rainbows, because that's not real life. And we always have wanted to show you what our real life looks like. So this is just part of our real life. But also part of our real life is so many milestones that we have coming up that we're so looking forward to. Come on, Ruby. It's so funny because we literally, when we get home from a drive, we're like, good job, Ruby. We love you, Ruby. Like, we like talk to the truck because we're like cheering her on and trying to rise up the truck. Leave a comment to help us rise up our truck in the comment section.
Let's go, Ruby.
Let's go, Ruby. I never thought I would be filming a YouTube video from the front seat of my vehicle, but here we are. This isn't exactly the movie set we were hoping for today. Ultimately, we're having a really great day today, and we will be back tomorrow with our typical content and hopefully a lot cheerier of a mood. We are going to have Ruby towed first thing tomorrow morning, as long as the mechanic can accept our vehicle tomorrow. So hopefully it'll be tomorrow. We don't have to pay for the tow because we have our CA package. And we'll see, and hopefully we'll get some good news this week about Ruby. Fingers crossed. I love you. Thank you so much for cheering us on and being part of our good, the bad, and the ugly. And we will see you on tomorrow's episode. Stay tuned all month. We have our daily videos all month this month, so don't miss it.